Ladies and gentlemen, we're cold open list tonight, but we are waiting on Coop. But this is lightning round. I am Kevin Tompkins, along with my good friend, compadre, Mr. Gary Haddow. We are back in the best ball. We are back in the high stakes streets tonight. Due to popular demand, we got so much good feedback last week with our FFPC football guys draft that we are going to be running it back again with our good friends at the KFFSC. Going up against some heavy hitters, Gary, here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it's all about. It's going to be a good time.
Yes, we are ship chasing. Pat Carrain, Pete Oberzet, Ben Gretsch. They have Blair and Hassan from RotoViz. It's going to be a quintuple managed team out of the 5-hole. We are at pick number 3, so we are going to be waiting for Coop here, but we have a minute left. So Gary, we're at the 3 spot here. It is not tight end premium. It is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, kicker, defense. So what are you looking at here at 103?
I mean, it's obviously probably CMC and Cook are going to be the 1-2, and if not, you snag one of them for sure. And then it's probably Alvin Kamara. I mean, you and I were just talking off air about what's going to be happening with the Saints offense, and who knows about Michael Thomas. And if, I'll throw it to you since we were talking about it. Like, what happens if Michael Thomas doesn't play the entire season? Like, what does that do, good or bad, for Kamara?
Well, let's ask Mr. Andrew Cooper how he feels about Michael Thomas. If he misses time here, Alvin Kamara is looking pretty attractive at that 103. Last week we got him at 107. So, what do you think here, Coop? State your case here at 103.
Thanks for having me on, boys. Didn't realize.
Yeah, it's not like you're part of the show or anything.
Yeah, well, didn't
Long-time
realize.
listener, first-time caller.
I'm usually more of a 9:30 guy, but. So anyway, yeah, I mean, we're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I mean, I already liked Kamara where he was going. I think that the offense runs through him. That's not going to change as long as Sean Payton's there. So it doesn't really matter who the quarterback's going to be. And with Michael Thomas out, I'm a little worried about their ability to move the ball. That's my only concern. So I was already pretty high on Kamara. I'm not sure how much it moves the needle in terms of moving him up. He was always going to be 3 or 4 for me. So
yeah.
So we're up now. We have 47 seconds. I mean, I think I like Kamara over the other backs here. I mean, are we going to go Kamara up at the top again here?
Full PPR, man.
Team Try Lightning.
Rock and roll. Try Lightning rides Alvin Kamara yet again. I think he has 100 catch upside this year. I really do. 1,000. I mean, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that kind of upside with a running back. So I think, Alvin Kamara, wheels up, man.
Let's do it.
I mean, it's crazy, the anomaly. There was one in baseball very similar, but so Kamara had 81, and 81 catches in a row his first 3 years. How crazy is that? And then I think last year he had a couple more, like 84 or something like that. Just
insane. The
consistency is amazing. There's a baseball player that batted 247 3 straight
Chris Davis.
Years. Chris Davis, yeah. Chris Davis. Yeah. It was Chris Davis with a K, right?
Yes, it was KHRIS. I am not worried about getting locked out. I mean, at that point, I think you got to do what you can. This is going to be a wide receiver heavy room. Just on a cursory glance. So we're gonna see how the board falls to us and then kind of roll with the punches here. But I am expecting the crew over at Ship Chasing to we'll see what they do, honestly. I don't know if they're gonna be going running back here. I think this might be either Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill, I would guess. But
I did a live draft with friggin' Pete Overzet on Sunday. It's the Beantown Brawl.
League?
Yeah, the Beantown Brawl with all the Boston players. He didn't draft a running back until I think the 8th round, which in that type of format's pretty tough. So I wouldn't be surprised if we started out the same way.
If there's any moles in the chat that want to go over to the Ship Chasing stream and just fill our chat here with some intel, I'll when we get some stickers here for Lightning Round, I'll send you a few.
That's right.
Or if you're going to the expo, I will buy you a beer. They did go Devontae Adams, by the way. That's not a shocking pick.
I would have taken Zeke there. And the thing about the whole missing out on wide receivers thing is that for me, you're not missing out on wide receivers. You're just getting a discount on other players, whether that's running backs, tight ends, quarterbacks, like best player available. That's the way to go. Yep. And the worst thing you could do is if somebody loads, if everyone's drafting wide receivers, for you to chase that dragon and then end up taking a deep wide receiver and then giving them a good running back too.
Right.
So we'll play.
I missed the memo.
This is the backwards hat crew here.
That's right.
Kelsey going to Willis, good friend Willis at 107, which that's the going rate. Tyreek Hill goes through. So the top 3 receivers and a tight end in the first 8 picks.
This isn't tight end premium, though, right?
This is not tight end premium.
Speaking of Kevin, what are our rosters going to be looking like on a weekly basis from just
it's one quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, tight end, only 1 flex, and then kicker defense. And this is managed as well.
Managed with $1,000 of fab. And
yes,
since we have some time for anybody that's listening, I think it's pretty interesting about how draft slots were picked.
Yeah, so an hour before this, we did an auction for draft slots. So I believe the number 1 slot went for about 470 fab, and we do have 1,000 fab. So half of the fab went toward the 101, which I'm okay with that. I just don't know if I would spend that much, but because 101 is such an advantage to have McCaffrey and then a pick of whoever falls at running back or wide receiver, however the board goes. Ridley going after Hill, so this is going to be shaping up to be something here. CeeDee Lamb might be going next.
I love that. Keep the wide receivers going, man. Juice them up.
Yeah. So we got the slot 3 at 100 fab, which I bid 100 at the outset, and nobody else matched it. I'm thinking if I had gone lower, if I'd started at like 40 or 50, I feel like it would have gotten bid up over 100. So I wanted a flat 100. I thought that would maybe kind of keep people at bay, and it ended up working out.
Hit them with the shock and awe. You come out with that big number.
Pocket sand.
Yeah, and I talked about this with you guys before, is that for me with fab, like there's always that first guy that gets added where somebody there, it's a big shot, especially when you draft now, the season's in a month, right? There's always that big guy where somebody gets hurt, and say CMC gets hurt, and then Chuba Hubbard goes for 1,000 fab, right? Yeah. So for me, once you spend $1, you're out of the running on that guy. So I'm okay with spending 100 on a draft slot, because even if we spent $40, we weren't going to get that top guy. You know what I mean? Even if we spent $5, we weren't going to get the top guy. Yeah. So from that point on, it's all increments. And with 1,000 fab, what's the difference between, say we really want the next guy, right? What's the difference between bidding 400 or 300? You know what I mean? We have it no matter what. If somebody wants to pay more than us, now, 80% of the league has more than us, right?
Yeah.
So we might as well go in for a pound, in for whatever the saying is,
For a penny.
I just want to say,
in for a penny, in for a pound.
I just want to say, look at that turn, by the way.
Yeah.
It just, from like 2 months ago, like Barkley and Taylor were going no later than like 106, and now they're both going at the turn. Like that is a strong turn. If they're at, if Wentz that timeline, if it's shorter than we think, and then Barkley, if he's getting the compliment, he just came off the pup list, so that's a strong start. So is Eckler Gibson,
and it's so interesting because in terms of the draft slot auction, so we got our spot for 100 at 3, and it kind of just stayed around that point. But you said at 10, and then at 11 and 12, it just started getting bid up and bid up and bid up. Derrick Henry going this late is very weird to see. Yeah, that's RB9. But now I understand why they spent so much. If they knew that some wide receivers are going to be going because of who we're drafting with, I mean, it's a pretty nice ending right there to get those guys as your 1-2.
Right. I mean, it's smart, man. It's something that we talked about before, where we either want to be at the beginning or the end, knowing that Overzet was going to screw this up by drafting a bunch of wide receivers like he always does. So.
Yeah, completely.
You can add me, Pete.
I love it. All right.
The other question that I had for Kevin going into all this, just at what point with the Waller potential news, lack of news, you don't really know what the hell is going on. Where do you realistically see Waller being someone that you could take? Is 303 too early considering all the confusion around what's going on with him?
I mean, that's the thing. You have to, at some point, I mean, even now he's a value. I think like that, and that is somewhere you could be unique. I wouldn't take, a lot of people do in FFPC where it's tight end premium, you can kind of bully at tight end because there's only a finite number of elite tight ends. So like, in FFPC drafts, you're talking Kelsey Waller start is incredibly unique. So, I think he's an option for us coming back. Hopkins going already. So buckle up, boys.
Yeah, this is great. This is awesome.
This is going to be such a different draft than the FFPC.
Wide receivers are flying, dude. Perfect.
Let's do it.
This is like a puppy draft right now on Underdog.
All right, so
Najee Harris. All right, so I'm looking at running backs right now. There's going to be, Jefferson is out there, Lamb, but the running backs out here, I like Mixon. I like CEH here. We've got 3 picks to us right now. I feel like they're going to be talking about Waller right now and whether or not they want to take him here.
So what I'm curious about when you say CEH or Mixon, if they were both there, where's the tier break looking then also at the wide receivers? Because I'm guessing we're probably not going to go a 3 running back start, although I'm not opposed to it considering how many wide receivers are there, but I know who I'm currently talking to, and I'm not sure if 3 running backs is in your wheelhouse.
It would be in my wheelhouse if we were able to get that in that tier of like, okay, so CeeDee Lamb just went. I think CEH and Mixon are in play for me as far as running backs. I think
Duke would want Mixon.
Say what you want about Nick Chubb. God, he's there too, but I just can't.
I'm down for CEH or Mixon. And I'm going to be basically what I'm going to do is just go off my own rankings, and I'll just give you guys my best available, and you guys can take whoever you want. Best available at all positions, because I know, Kev, you're the one that is tight with these 0 RB cats. You know how they think. You know what I mean? You have the mind of the enemy here. So I'm going to give you my best available at multiple positions, including tier breaks, and then you make the call because I feel like you can captain the ship. I say CEH or Mixon, whoever you want.
Gary, do you have a preference between the two?
I like CEH over Mixon, but that's just
because
I feel burned by Mixon, and I don't trust that.
No, that's cool. I think Mixon has a better chance of coming back to us. If he's there, 3 in a row.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And in doing a 3 running back start will just cement the position for a long time.
Right. I just think that the get burned by a guy in the past argument is you have to tie it to something. So in which way? In what way, Gary? In what way did he?
Wait, there's a 3rd round reversal?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So that's going to come back. So
that's a big change.
Yeah, so big change.
Gary, in what way did Mixon burn you?
I just
Giovanni
was
Bernard.
excited to get him in a couple leagues last year, and then all of a sudden,
he got hurt.
So. Yeah, he just got hurt, and then now it's all right. The stuff coming out of camp is we were super high on the Bengals offense, and then it's just like a slow start. Even though he's actually probably been the shining point of it, that offensive line, it's probably only going to be a little bit better, but still, if I can have that or I can have CEH, who I think was criminally undervalued going into this season because people felt like the same thing. Like they felt like they took him and he didn't do what they needed to, but that's a load of crap. Like CEH was awesome last year. He just wasn't as awesome as we expected him to be.
Yeah, he was like 1 touchdown away from being RB5 for the first 6 weeks. And then Le'Veon Bell.
The third, if I knew it was 3rd round reversal, we probably should have been grabbing one of those 10, 11, 12. Because, this dude's about to start Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, which is a absolute power move. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I get that. It is what it is.
Cool.
I mean, as far as
learn.
I'm still perfectly fine. Kamara, CH, that
Right.
could those could be two top 6 running backs at this point.
Oh, you went
I mean,
Allen
Allen-
Robinson.
Yeah,
I mean, and we could also get good running back value on the way back and wide receiver value because like these guys in the middle rounds here, I know at least a few of them are going to draft wide receivers again because that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, so we're gonna have to kind of we're gonna pretty much take what they give us, and I'm totally fine with that. No, and Waller hasn't gone either. So I mean.
Yeah, the third round reversal, it also it scares you from the other point because we think that at the other end they're thinking I can have whoever I want, but I just did third round reversal from the end of a draft in Scott Fishbowl, and my thought was I'm terrified about who comes all the way back around because that's a long way around.
Yeah.
Right. Jones, Henry, Mixon. There's a triple running back start there.
I'm just, man, paying up 47% or whatever it was of your fab to get CMC and Allen, and then wait for your third round pick. Like,
right.
I don't know. That's tough. Like that makes me really happy that we only spent $100 regardless.
Yeah, and I like our starts better than those two as well too.
Right. Michael Scott there with Michael Scarn. Threat level midnight with 3 guys that are. I've seen those 3 guys go in the first round of drafts. All 3
dropped a Michael Scarn reference. I love it.
Threat level. I mean, I've seen all 3 of those dudes go in the first round. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or mixing at the very, mixing at the very the turn. So that's a great start for that kid. Olivia Doodle.
What? I'm so.
Related
to
to
the main event rules for this, and I am so confused. If I don't even know if I'm looking at the right thing. The KF.
There's Darren Waller.
Event. Is this a main event? Is that what this?
Yes. This is yes. This is their Kentucky Fantasy Football State Championship main event. We get a letter for this. We get the varsity jacket.
Better.
Damn right. If we win, I believe it's $15K. $15K in a varsity letter jacket. It's like
Coop. This is also 4-point passing, and I am starting to wonder if we what diversification do we want to do? I know we only have one other big main event right now, but I'm gonna probably have Dak in most of my leagues, and I can't decide if diversification, because there's a lot more writing on it, it makes more sense. Somebody at least for the high end guys like an Allen or a Kyler in particular, who I'm just pretty high on this year, just because that offensive line team is just so much improved. Well, is that something that you consider? Or are you still waiting?
I say play it as it lies. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times I wait on quarterback. It's just in that particular draft, the best player that I had left in any of my tiers was Dak. Like if there was a running back or a wide receiver I wanted, even a tier above, even if it was a full 2-tier separation for me there.
Yeah.
That's why I was pushing Dak so hard.
If they were,
I always take the running back or wide receiver if they're available. It was in that particular instance, quarterbacks fell so low that when that kid took a quarterback, all of a sudden it was a big tier break for me,
Yeah.
So I'm not married to picking Dak or anybody. I love Kyler or any of them,
Yeah.
DJ Moore is almost guaranteed to go right here.
We'll take him if he's there, though, right?
For sure, but I'm not expecting DJ Moore to get back to us here.
Yeah,
you would rather have
through the gauntlet.
You'd rather have DJ Moore than Mike Evans
in full PPR, yeah. I mean, just in general, probably, yeah. Because DJ Moore, the consolidation, you got to think about it. There's 3 wide receivers, that we don't even, it's such a. Yeah, I guess Darnold's the other one. I'd rather have.
Even I would take Godwin over Evans.
Well, I would.
Godwin's is closer to more than than
all the wide receivers available. I have one that's in a complete different tier than anyone else available, which is Amari Cooper, who I would immediately take if he was there.
I think this might be because it's telling me currently selected Amari Cooper, but he's still in the thing. So I think they're taking it down.
You have DJ Moore ahead of Amari Cooper?
Yes.
Why?
I think just based on the upside of that offense, I just think that that's going to be spread out a little bit more. Amari Cooper they're close. I think I only have them like 1 or 2 spots apart.
Amazing.
I think I have Cooper at like wide receiver 14.
Do you have CeeDee Lamb ahead of Amari Cooper?
Yes.
Oh, no. What?
All right. So DJ just went. So now we're talking about Bucs wide receivers. We are technically talking about another running back if you want Chris Carson, or David Montgomery.
How do you feel about Chris Godwin here?
I'm just worried that it's in 2 wide receiver sets at the goal line. It's going to be Antonio Brown and Mike Evans and not Godwin.
Well, I will tell you, I love Tyler Lockett, but
I'm okay with Lockett too. It would be between Godwin and Lockett for me.
Yo, why don't we take?
Because if it's not Lockett, to me, it's like Lockett, it's the Bucs, and it's Deontay.
We can't take Lockett, man.
Yeah, it's probably too early. So I would say let's take a buck, and then it would come back around with either Deontay or Lockett. With the option of also David Montgomery.
I honestly have Chris Carson.
17 seconds.
Or, dude, what about...
We got to make it a stand.
What about Najee Harris?
He's gone.
Gone. 7 seconds.
Take Chris Carson.
Oh, dude.
And then we'll slam on running wide receivers, man. There's going to be plenty. Dude, if we can't decide between 2 Bucs wide receivers, why not take one on the way back? They're both going to be there. They'll probably both be there. I'm all for Chris. Wait, you don't like Chris Carson?
That look on Kevin's face right now.
Not a big fan of Chris Carson, but I get it.
But the value right now,
you never.
The value right now is wide receivers.
You never get him here.
Why is the value wide receivers right here?
Look how many wide receivers have
all
gone.
these wide receivers have gone.
Chris Godwin has like top 5 or 6 upside. I would take him over Chris Carson, who's probably more of a fringe top 12. I don't think he has the upside to even sniff top 6.
It hasn't always been. The situation has changed for Carson. Like that offense is better now. They just paid him. They're pretty much said they're not bringing Penny back.
We're about to get Chris Godwin.
We're gonna be fine. We'll get Godwin here, or we'll get who else is here? There's so many wide receivers. Like wide receivers grow on trees. We take Julio Jones, who's one of the best wide receivers of all time.
Yeah, he's also coming off of more injuries and going into a consolidated offense, but AJ Brown is the clear guy there. I would still put AJ Brown 2 tiers over Julio.
Of course, but it's super highly consolidated. There's so many of those guys that are available. For me, I'm not even thinking about T. Higgins just yet. I know he's a good player, but
he's gone.
No, I know. Like I'm saying, he's gone, but I wouldn't have taken T. Higgins in the last pick or this pick. I like Higgins, but like we have no idea. You know what I mean? We have no idea what that consolidation is going to be like. Like Tyler Boyd could still get 100 targets, and then everyone else is kind of scrapping. So we'll take Chris Godwin.
100% Chris Godwin. He's playing for a contract.
Okay.
I think on the way back, we can easily get like a Debo. I know that you don't particularly like them, but in a full PPR as your wide receiver 2 or 3, like that fits.
I'm for all of it, man. We don't have to take a running back again for the rest of the draft. Now we can slam on wide receiver, which isn't what we like to do. You know what I mean? We like picking wide receiver.
Do that. That's fine with me.
All these guys are going to have to take running backs at some point. And
at least we have a totally different style than we did for the last big event.
Like we shouldn't be able to get 3. We shouldn't be able to get 3 good running backs and Chris Godwin. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen.
I was thinking Kittle could have been in that conversation, but I'm fine with Godwin.
I thought about Kittle with the Carson pick, but just it gets so ugly at running back. I know you guys have a different definition of ugly for running back, but
I totally would have gone Kittle over Carson. Didn't even think about it. Oh well.
Nah, I didn't like that. Not in regular league. You can recreate Kittle.
That is a bold statement, but maybe I'm biased. Whew, Jamar Chase.
You can't recreate him in real life, right? But like you want to take.
No, we don't have the technology.
You want to take Debo, right? Like
technology or the hand precision.
Right. So Gary, let me throw something at you, right? FanDuel has CeeDee Lamb with a over-under of 1,050 yards. Adam Thielen with an over-under of 1,000. They have Deebo Samuel with an over-under of 875. They have Brandon Ayuk with an over-under of 825.
Feels low.
Right?
Feels really low.
So if you want to bet on that, you can put an unlimited amount of money on it and win that money. If you think they're wrong, I don't think they have a cap. So if you think they're wrong, you can put $10,000 on it if you want. But like,
I'm saving my money for the next main event that we do.
I'm just a little scared that they have those odds out there. You know what I mean? And same with George Kittle, I think is around 900. So they have Kittle leading that team in yards, but it scares me even that they would put that out there, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
So the next running back that we draft is going to be legit like Malcolm Brown.
It's going to be Gainwell.
I like Malcolm Brown might be
Boston Scott.
Malcolm Brown might be a little too early, you know? We don't need to take him anymore.
I actually fully agree with that. I mean, we got 3 of the higher powered offenses in the NFL as our backs. Like that's legit. Like that's awesome. And then we have the Bucks, who's also up there. I mean, at this point, then let me just ask more a philosophical question before I name the player that I would be looking at. At this point, are you looking for high variance because it's this type of league and it's this large scale thing, or because it's our wide receiver 2, you want somebody that's just going to be locked and loaded, steady Eddie with like maybe not the highest ceiling, but not a low floor?
I think the running backs give us the floor. I think upside is where we need to tackle.
Right. Like we're just gonna draft like, yeah, that's fine though, because we're like none of these guys are coming back. We're just gonna jam like we might end up like could easily be that we take a tight end here if wide receivers aren't coming back or quarterback. Like we can take wide receivers for the next 10 picks and we only need to fill 2 more slots. You know what I mean?
How many rounds is it, Kev?
I want to say it's 2. Hold on. Killing me. I keep wanting to say 18, but I think it's 20.
I would totally take Hawkinsock if he was here.
Hawkinsock.
Right.
If he got all the way back, yeah.
Like we take what the draft gives us. Like if no one takes a quarterback before it comes back to us, then we take quarterback. Like like no one's taking Mahomes. They're letting value fall. You take the value where you get it. You don't chase the positions that are bleeding. You know what I mean? It's like catching falling knives. We can find wide receivers. No one's ever been shut out from finding wide receivers. Like, I can't remember.
Talking to the wrong crowd.
When?
I'm being a dick.
When did that happen, though?
It didn't. No, I'm being a dick.
Yeah, you could. Well, I'm just saying you can't find wide receivers. They're all over the place.
Oh, absolutely can.
Yeah. I mean,
this league has waivers. We can add guys. Yeah, Jacoby Myers, dude. He had 800 yards, a bunch of catches.
Dude, lighting up camp. All about it. Thank you, wide receiver 9 on my fishbowl team.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to be coming back here. Tyler Boyd in the 4th. That should tell you everything you need to know. Right. Visca in the 4th. That should tell you everything you need. This is a ship chasing draft.
Yeah, who cares? Let him reach.
Can I ask a question? And I'm gonna sound like a total noob, but for
you can't.
That doesn't know me, I don't.
Shut out from wide receiver. How? Like you don't get shut out from wide receiver. This wide receiver is all over the place. Like go and look at like Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel coming. They were wide receiver 64 and 65 at ADP last year. You just find them, man. Like I don't know about you, I just find them. It's not a problem. Like go back and look at the wide receiver 2s last year and the wide receiver 3s. Like Cole Beasley was wide receiver 24, and he wasn't being drafted in the 4th round of a league like this. Like, and if you look at the guys that were drafted in the, wide receiver 12 to 20 range, a bunch of those guys ended up being like wide receiver 50. So like everyone thinks that wide receivers are super safe, but they're, in the early rounds, they are. Like taking Devontae Adams in the 1st round, Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, definitely. A lot of these guys, but at this point, these guys are overdoing it. That's my feeling.
I just imagine Kevin holding a pencil, and as you're talking, it's just like.
Right. Hey, if our running backs get hurt, then we lose, right?
Wait, can we talk about Visca going at the end of the fourth? What the hell is going on?
I mean, I am Visca over Chark, but that's rich.
Fourth, like I am at least, now that I'm seeing the board, hindsight's 2020, whatever. I am getting what you're saying, Kevin, from before, that because wide receiver goes so heavy that yes, the running back value is there, but unfortunately, it goes so heavy that it also then pushes some of those running backs a little bit later, right? That you're like, this is a value, but also they are going to be there later. I can definitely see that, because this is nuts. Like Mike Williams is normally going in the 8th, 9th, maybe even the 10th, and he just went in the 5th.
It's crazy, man. We should take Patrick Mahomes.
So I was thinking that if he's there, I would want Sutton. I would be open to a quarterback, but I am officially going to get a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
The wide receiver situation is pretty nuts, because there still are 6 more picks, and they are going to be a lot of wide receivers.
If Mahomes and Mark Andrews, like at some point, everyone has to take running backs. Everyone has to take different positions. Like that's when we load up on wide receivers. We don't, chasing now would be the biggest mistake. That's why I think for us, like, unless it goes like,
it's kind of what I'm saying.
What falling value at running back? Like, what running backs are left? I want to Jay White. What running backs are you super excited about that are falling here?
David Montgomery in the 5th, right here.
Yeah, we could take Dave Montgomery too. If we want to take Dave Montgomery, what's wrong with that? We took 7 wide receivers last draft. We did. You can start 4 wide receivers max, and we took 7. Why can't we take 4 running backs?
Yeah. Like I said, I would totally take Sutton if he falls, but I would probably rather take Mahomes, and then take him comes back.
I think, dude, take the value where it comes to you.
Kevin, do you look at Team 9 and just say, "My God, that's my team." Like
that's good times.
Yeah, but they're running.
That's what Kevin's been doing in a whole bunch of best balls.
Their first running back is awful.
He has Kamara light upside, though. That's the bull case for Travis Etienne.
Not really. What was the Saints won like 10 games. The Saints have won 10 plus games every single season. That team is projected to win 6. That team is going.
What was the words you texted me, Kevin? Texted us, Kevin. Arbitrage.
All right, he's arbitrage. Alvin Kamara that you can get for that's if you're drafting him, you're playing the bull case for Etienne that he just absolutely smashes in year 1.
How could he won't? He's going to be like the Saints were an amazing team in Kamara's first year. The Saints offense had one of the best offensive lines. Why can't Jacksonville just in a bold case find it? With Urban Meyer, with all those with a quarterback upgrade in Trevor Lawrence being able to at least. Why can't they? Because they just tanked to draft a quarterback, and they're in a complete rebuild in the first year of it, and they're projected to be awful.
So that they draft a running back in the first round, and if he's that guy that they can build around, we're up in 2 picks, by the way.
Where do they get the line from?
Let's worry about this pick here.
So for me, the pick's Mahomes, if he's there.
I mean, this is the farthest I've ever seen Mahomes fall in any draft. They'll take him here though.
Kev, are you opposed to Mahomes? I want to know. Are you opposed to Mahomes here because of the wide receiver situation?
I'm not opposed to Mahomes.
We take Mark Andrews.
I like Mark. Actually, I do really like Mark Andrews there too.
We take Mark Andrews and then take quarterback on the way back. Like we don't.
I'm fine with Mark Andrews. Do we want to just smash Mark Andrews here?
I like it. It's
sure.
right. It's MVP.
Yep. I mean, to me, it's Mahomes, Andrews, or Sutton.
And then we don't have to worry about tight end for a long time either. We can take flyers on guys. Really, couple.
Yeah, we can take a late guy to pair with Andrews, and I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be.
This is wild.
Yeah.
There's Mahomes.
So you said take a QB on the way back. I want to know, does that mean if it's not Mahomes, is Are Allen or Kyler high enough to take him there, or do we just say nope? We're doing that later.
I'd be down for Allen or Kyler.
Kev,
I think they could be pushed down a little more, honestly, and I think we could still get.
Yeah, I think what I worry about in drafts like this is that you got all these 0 RB guys, right? And then what happens is it goes in the next round, and then that's when everyone else says, now we capitalize on all the quarterback value we pushed down, right? And then all the quarterbacks go, and the draft smooths out, and we don't get to capitalize on the value. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I hate the idea of us taking a wide receiver here, because we take a wide receiver, and then they take quarterbacks and running backs, and we don't get the benefit at all. We take the last wide receiver of the run, and then they get all the, you know what I mean? Like, I hate being the guy that is at the end of that game. I'd rather be the guy at the beginning.
So I would see Sutton. I'm just looking down at rankings. Sutton, Juju, Devonta.
My plan here, I would love to get a wide receiver here, and then maybe get a quarterback to stack with, because that's something we didn't do last week. That would be something that I would like to at least get some kind of stacking opportunity. I think, and that's certainly in play too with
it's a
the guys that we have.
Option there.
Yeah.
Well, if we take Sutton, then our only stack opportunity is Brady.
What do you think about?
Or we can stack Lamar Jackson,
Devonta with Hurts.
Yeah, Lamar. Yeah, Lamar is actually.
Oh shit!
I'm fine with that. Honestly, we can lock that up.
Yeah, let's do that
here and now.
I'm totally down.
Yeah, and then we have opportunities later for other guys. And that's going to be, if Lamar gets back to, some efficiency, if they're going to be passing the ball more often, that's the upside that we're playing with.
And they say Rashad Bateman is out for weeks, not couple weeks. And Sutton's gone. Take him.
Perfect.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got the rushing.
I think that you get a good early season rushing upside, and then Bateman comes back in Hollywood, depending on where he's at. Then you start to get more of the efficiency, and you could just see a little bit of a shift. So I'm totally down for it.
All right, wide receiver for the next 14 picks.
I'm so down for that. I love that. That's my favorite thing, though, is that because I love a bunch of guys in this range. You know what I mean? And we only need to find 2, right? Because we have our starting lineup. Everybody we've drafted so far is in our starting lineup. So we just need to pick 8 wide receivers, and only 2 of them need to start.
Yeah, so it's we're playing hyper fragile here with the running backs, saying these 3 guys are going to be the crux of our team, and then we need to fill wide receiver with volume and find those guys.
Yep, and that's the thing about drafting. If you draft enough mid-range ones, that we might not just find 2, we might find 3 or 4, and then now if somebody gets hurt, we have a flex. It's like the running back. Even if one of our running backs gets covered, we have 2.
Kevin, weren't we doing more hyper fragile last draft though? Because we took 2 running backs and then we took a flyer on 1. Like at least here we have 3 that we're like,
right.
Yeah, we have our flex.
Sorry, I'm not combative. I'm genuinely like, I go back and forth on the anti-fragile thing, trying to figure out what fits with what. All I understand is go heavy wide receiver.
Well, there's a difference. Hyper fragile, we don't have to invest anything more into one running back for a while. We have our guys, we have our flex. So we've made that bet that Kamara, CH, Carson, that those are going to be our 3 guys. We can backfill wide receivers here. We got the one kind of linchpin in Godwin. We secured that Jackson Andrews stack. Now we can backfill with volume at wide receiver and then find guys that hit there. See, now look, running back is, those values, Mike Davis, Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams. Now quarterbacks are going to start going too. Right. So,
but the 0 RB guys didn't get the values. So the thing with, I like to start with Peyton Manning and threat level midnight, but then they fell into the trap, I feel, of forcing their hand on wide receivers that aren't a value where they took them. Like Tyler Boyd and Mike Williams, the dude that started 3 running backs should have just kept on rolling with taking Patrick Mahomes and taking TJ Hawkinson or Mark Andrews. Like, keep on rolling with the value that you're getting that's being given to you. Like, why would you go like? There's gonna be opportunities at wide receiver. Like, you're falling into their trap. Yeah, that's my opinion. Is that, like, so the guy that started Diggs, Lamb, DJ Moore, that dude did it. And Diggs, Lamb, DJ Moore, Adams, Jefferson, Amari Cooper. Those guys both got 3 good wide receivers. They started out the right way. All these other dudes, I feel, were chasing the value that was bleeding. You know what I mean?
Talking with you guys on a weekly basis is so confusing going into draft season. Sometimes I'm like hyper Kevin, and other times I'm hyper Coop, and other times I'm like, fuck it.
Well, you can be both Kevin and Coop because we both agree. Like, we both like the start of some of these 0 RB teams, But
I'm going to be on the plane tomorrow being like, fucking Chris Carson. I already know it. Chris Carson, no, there's not. I actually don't. I don't think I have a lot of Chris Carson at all. But gotta diversify. But that start, this is going to necessitates us getting that Andrews Jackson stack. I think was pretty big for us to get that there.
Right. And now, Kevin, now is when you get to just jam on wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like, we've been appeased. The tight ends have been picked. The wide receivers have been
picked. We've been appeased.
The running backs have been picked, man.
All right, Kevin, you can come out and play now.
All right, look at him. Dude, look at them taking Antonio Brown in the 6th round. It's disgusting.
All right. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what
See, if I was drafting this team myself, I would probably have 6 running backs right now. Because I don't play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3 wide receiver league, but I get it. Like, it's funny because in our group text, you were like, hero wide receiver? This is the perfect time for hero wide receiver.
Draft one good wide receiver.
Here we are.
Right. Well, if we had started with 1 wide receiver, we would have. Imagine if we had taken Diggs at 3, it would have put them in a spot.
Yeah, that would have been a decision.
Diggs, CH, Carson, and like Montgomery. That would have been.
The more I look, I'm trying to mix this up in my head here, like Keenan Allen instead of CEH, in the odds that CEH will come back.
The 3rd round reversal definitely threw.
That's right.
From the CEH.
Yeah.
How did we not know that was?
I can't find it on their website. I was looking for it to see. So
that's fine.
Thank you, whoever's.
We're happy. We're happy.
Yeah,
right. I mean, so Herbert goes.
We're gonna do one more of these, so who cares?
Yeah,
got it.
Herbert goes. It's only a matter of time before, Noah Fant goes. Oh, Hollywood Brown just went. Damn, I was hoping.
How long is the clock on these picks?
It's like 1:30, I think.
So this draft is going to go until 1 a.m. where I live.
I am curious how you guys feel about vets
rookies,
given where we're at with our wide receiver room, of just going with super upside, like a Jalen Waddle, if he gets there, is somebody that I would love to take because he just has such high variance.
He hasn't even played though, has he?
He's been there.
He's been the only guy that wasn't hurt.
Yeah, so he has actually been playing. He's been looking pretty good.
I have one that,
any thought to a falling DJ Chark? We had this finger surgery, but he's slated to be back in time for week 1. Devonta Smith has a sprained MCL, I believe it was, and he should be out 2 to 3 weeks. I mean,
I was going to say Devonta
2-3 weeks into the season, or just
total
2-3.
If Devonta was there, he would be my pick.
Last week. Yeah,
I'm all for it, man.
But
you got to remember, all these 0 RB guys are like, when we take Devonta Smith, they're in their minds, they're still going to be like, I can't believe we let them get Devonta Smith. You know what I mean? Like, that's how everyone thinks. They think in their own mind of these strategies, right? So like, these guys are going to be like, oh, I had to take a running back there, but I wanted to take Waddle, or I wanted to take whoever. It's like, you always think in your own mind of what what the guy should be, you know. So I think we're going to be just fine in terms of wide receivers.
So let's narrow it down because we got 3 left. So I would vote Devonta if he's there. And then who did we just talk about? I brought up Waddle also, but who, Kevin, you just brought up someone.
Chark.
I brought up Chark.
He knows I like Chark, so I'm down to take Chark at any point. But I'll leave that up to you because I'm the high one on Chark.
So we'll throw out Waddle because I don't know if it's too early or not. I mean, again, I'll let you guys weigh.
There's that Noah Fant pick.
Who do you think wouldn't make it back if we took Chark or Devonta, or are they just on the same level?
Why do they like Fant?
I have like none of Fant. Honestly.
Why do they like him though? You know, it's like, do they think he's going to get more targets than Jerry Jeudy?
It could be a dynasty mentality.
Like the quarterback.
Everybody in Dynasty loves the athleticism of Noah Fant.
He's super athletic. In Dynasty, for sure. 23-year-old.
But I mean, what's he going to do this year? I mean, get what? I mean, he had, 103 targets last year? But that was also, with just spread out amongst everybody else. Now you add Sutton coming back now, year 2 of Jeudy.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. So we have Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Noah Fant already drafted. So these guys must love Drew Lock, or do you think they like Teddy Bridgewater?
Well, if you like Jeudy, you're hoping Teddy Bridgewater's in there,
right? Or do you think the target's coming out of thin air that supports these?
Wait,
these
I've heard the exact opposite. That Sutton is more of a Drew Lock. Teddy is more of a Jeudy.
But if all three of those,
I said it the opposite. Damn it!
If all 3 of those guys are going, then they must like something.
Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take
upside.
Do it.
I'm fine with that.
For sure.
All right, we very quickly need to figure out this next pick now.
Yeah.
I do like Waddle there.
There's so many players, dude.
I like Waddle.
Waddle also.
I don't mind Landry, honestly. I mean, all the dudes.
Juice is the perfect pick for us right now, right?
I think so too. I think it's too early, but he's not going to make it back.
He lost a bunch of weight. We should have took Juice as the last pick. Did Tyler Boyd go too?
Yeah, he went in the fourth
round.
So if Tyler Boyd's going, why isn't Jarvis Landry going? Like
Landry is the arbitrage. That's the fun word to use. Is basically arbitrage Robert Woods / Tyler Boyd.
They're the same guy, man. Like
I want to know about Michael Thomas. I know that we're in this league and we could totally just lose out on him, but on the flip side, if that dude comes back, you all of a sudden got a hero wide receiver with Godwin and Devonta, and you got him in the 8th. I'm just throwing it out there because I also like Landry, and I also think Michael Thomas might make it back to us.
Jarvis Landry lost Moondog. Jarvis Landry lost 15 pounds to get faster because he said he spent too much time blocking. So something to think about.
He's no Alan Lazard, but
I'm totally down with Landry because I think
best shape of his life. I have a monster.
Coop's riding Twitter over here. The camp reports, man.
Fresh legs.
Yeah. Best shape of his life. Never felt better. New diet regimen.
Feels like he's 19 again. I saw that one about Sammy Watkins today.
I just took Sammy Watkins in the last round of a draft.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Start him week 1.
He's the week 1 hero, Sammy Watkins.
Jared Cook.
He'll be in play.
Dude, there's so many. So this is the thing. There's so many wide receivers that I like in this range that
there goes Waddle.
They're good.
Dude, Higbee or Goddard's going here.
So we're going with Landry if he's there again.
For sure.
Guys didn't even.
He's our wide receiver.
About Michael Thomas, so
no, we can't take Michael Thomas here. We can't because we don't have a wide receiver to start. That's the problem.
If you have we can't take a wide receiver to just sit on our bench when we don't have.
That's the guy you take as your wide receiver 7. You know what I mean? Our wide receiver. If we take him, then whoever we're drafting next round has to start week 1.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be Emmanuel Sanders.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. You guys keep referencing ship chasers, which I know is the pod, but like, are there other guys in here that are part of that, or are they just like us drafting as one pod?
There's other people that are in that community.
Who are we taking? Who are we taking if these guys take Jarvis Landry? Just real quick.
Let me take a look.
Don't ask that question. We have no idea.
Emmanuel Sanders. I honestly have him ahead of Jalen Waddle.
I mean, Curtis Samuel would probably be the next guy up.
Oh, Curtis Samuel's a good pick too.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Either one of those. I mean,
I actually have Curtis Samuel ahead of all those guys, but I crossed him out. Well, actually, I have a lot of guys that I like. I mean,
I would do Landry. Then
I like Devontae Parker.
Yeah, I think
there's so many wide receivers I like, dude. We're gonna get a bunch of them, dude.
I think we're at that stage in the draft where like some of them.
I think we need to hit the upside, but I think Juice is if he's there,
Juice can start for us, right?
The upside.
There's upside guys, man.
Marvin Jones. I'm saying I actually think that Landry has the upside. Like, I mean, I'm very high on Baker this year.
I'm fine with Landry here if we want to just roll that.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. He'll start for us every single week. And he'll score. He'll catch a couple passes every single week, which is when you start with three running backs, that's what you care about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he'll score a touchdown. He'll probably score like 5 or 6 touchdowns. I mean, like what's wrong with that?
Right now, our only weak link is the Heisman winner.
I put a name in the private chat.
Am I not supposed to be throwing out names here?
No, you can't. You can't. We have them the whole time.
Engaging in reverse espionage. Yeah, I'm totally there too. I was thinking about that earlier, but now I'm terrified to say names.
There's so many good. Dude, the wide receivers left are still way better than the running backs that are left. These running backs are trash. And dude, there's a bunch of wide receivers. Michael Pittman, like Marvin Jones. I love these guys. Dude, FanDuel has Marvin Jones with an over-under of 800 yards. They have Brandon Ayuk with an over-under of 825. Either you think the professional conglomerate that's running their sports book is wrong, or he's a good value.
It's very weird to think that like an offense that you know is going to throw a ton versus an offense with less receiving options that is going to run a ton, and yet you still put Marvin Jones below Ayuk. That's
no, because they have the tight end.
That's true.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Kittle's going to
leave. Oh, I thought you were talking about Tebow. I was like, yeah, they do have the.
No. So I have Ayuk. I like Ayuk. I'm lower on Debo. Yeah. He's the tight end. I'm lower on Debo but dude, they're not going to support 3 megastars. Or maybe the 49ers are just going to be amazing and we should draft Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the way I think about it, is that like you look at these teams that actually truly support 3 pass catchers, the quarterback's always an animal.
For the first time all offseason, Jimmy is officially starting to drop for me. I'm glad that I ended up not getting him in the places. I think that Trey Lance has somebody put it really well. Jimmy Garoppolo is playing lights out, and Trey Lance is still gaining on him every single day.
This dude, this dude's going to pick Elijah Moore and Corey Davis in a managed league where he's going to decide each week which of those players to start.
He's totally taking Zach Wilson later, just in case.
I love threat level midnight just being like, nah, I'm going to keep taking running backs. Fuck you guys. Right?
Yeah.
That's what everyone should do, but us, because we're trying to win. But I love these other teams. Just like there's now 3 teams that have 4 running backs because they're taking the best available players in their minds, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's let me take a look.
How many flexes is it? 1 or 2?
Well, it's only one.
It's a trap.
We already have it, and we haven't filled with Carson.
Exactly. We're done taking running backs. Let them do the 4 running back thing because that only hurts. That's great for us. Every team that takes their 4th running back is a cheers for us.
I think we need to find exciting content because this is one of the weirdest podcasts we've ever done. All 3 of us are just like looking at this like, what the hell is going? I keep looking at the Visca and just be like, what the hell is happening?
we've played it. In my opinion, we've played it perfect. Dude, we got 3 good running backs. We have a wide receiver that finished at wide receiver 2 overall in the league once, right? We have an MVP at quarterback. We have a tight end that finished tight end 5, even when we played 58% of the snaps, and he has COVID, even though he's a diabetic. Like, we have guys that are
Nice.
for, you know what I mean? It's like we have a guy that got Devontae. We have a Heisman Trophy winner.
We have the reception leader for the first 4 years in the
Devonta Smith. Yeah, I mean, it's like we have. It's ridiculous that we got going on here. Like, you know, and then you look at the team next to us taking CeeDee Lamb in the second round.
Oh, I'm just very excited about this because you're like, this is amazing. We played this awesome, and Kevin in his head is just like, this is fine. Fires all around him.
I'm off of work until Tuesday.
I can recover.
We'll do
You're
one more
until Tuesday. That's sick.
We'll do one more. Hey, we'll do one more. We should try and find like Dave Kluge and his crew, jump in a 0 wide receiver draft, and then that's when we go 0 RB and let Kev do his fucking damage and take. And then that draft, we start our draft going, you know, Diggs, Adams. You know what I mean? Like, do one of those ones where
RB1.
Yeah, but who cares? I mean, we wouldn't like when in those leagues where everyone drafts super heavy running back.
Yeah,
that's when we end up just crushing wide receiver and then still getting running backs because that's how that works. I've never seen so much yellow on a board.
This is the most wide receiver heavy draft I've ever been a part of.
Seen.
Especially considering it is not some unique scoring. This is just a 3 wide receiver PPR league. Like, there's nothing. It's crazy to me. And I will admit, I do agree with Coop. Like, I really do love our team so far. I get the concerns about the high end wide receiver.
Are we all on board, by the way, with what I put in the chat as far as our next?
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah,
everything's thrown off for me in terms of value as to when things go. So I'm totally.
We just take who's there. It's pretty much all you can do.
Shit, he just went. I was going to say, if not, I would take 2 of Marvin Jones, Coop's boy.
Troutman just went.
Yuck.
Or who you just said.
Yeah, that could be something on the wrap, Coop.
Right. Like, if we're like, think about it. If they're both in a similar situation.
Go into this with set parameters as to what we can and can't discuss.
Why take the unknown?
Like an asshole.
Right. If they're both unknowns, why not take the more known unknown?
No, the more known unknown.
Wait. I have to.
Devontae Parker. See, it's too late. I'm there with you.
Like,
I'm there with you.
I get that we're talking upside for those other for there, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like if we got 2 of those 3,
dude, did I miss news
on Troutman?
No. Like, we're all of a sudden. I like how we're all of a sudden be cagey about spies.
I know, right? You gotta be. Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm totally fine with that.
So many wide receivers left, dude.
Gary, you're fired.
Gary, you're breaking up. No, actually, Gary, I do like that one. I actually tweeted about that guy with some stats that are pretty interesting. His, I mean, I don't think there's spies in this chat.
I think I realized what
surprised.
It is. We give such good ideas that you guys don't respond when we're publicly doing stuff.
There goes
you.
There goes Michael Thomas.
Yeah. See, Michael Thomas. That was Gary. That was good. That was Gary. Cole Beasley. Oh my God. What?
The only thing worse than that is his rap career.
What year is it? Actually, he had that one song that was kind of dope. Shout out Cole Beasley, 88 stings on Spotify. It's kind of fire.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just running the ship by myself. I already fired Gary, and
I just got myself canceled.
You may. All right.
Cole Beasley rat fan.
All right.
That's my Twitter handle. That's my burner Twitter handle.
I even went and got Bud Light Platinum because I was like, I'm definitely going to say a lot of stupid shit tonight. So I'm just going to have this and just sit back and watch you guys interact. By the way, Kevin, I wanted to tell you earlier, but I felt kind of weird. I think your sweater is awesome.
Thank you.
I love it.
It's really cool.
The peach is a good color.
I feel like it's hard to pull it off, and I genuinely like.
I didn't even notice that it was a peach color, and it just fits you. You were killing it.
That's good.
Marquez Callaway, what are we doing?
They're gonna break. They're gonna break our heart here. I already know it, so I'm already preparing for the worst.
I just don't like. Why was Marcus Callaway just drafted? I don't understand. Like, fine, like, cool. You might get a few weeks from him.
Pat, Pete, Gretsch, just rip out my heart.
Hammering it,
man. I really like that guy's entire draft, except for the Fant pick. I'm just like, whatever. Why not just wait and take any of these other wide receivers, especially like Devontae or Waddle, over Fant? But then that happens.
All right, we smashing our boy here.
Cool, pay attention.
Huh?
Pittman then Dillon, so we're getting our boy Bateman.
Oh, they took Pittman? No, why would we take Bateman, dude? He's hurt. He's injured, and they said weeks.
Okay, fine. Then what better? You want Manny Sanders?
No, take Bateman. Fine, take Bateman.
Gary.
Yeah.
I like Bateman's a good pick.
I'm just trying to not be canceled. But
we gotta let Kev get his guys.
I do think on the background that Coop's guy kind of makes sense.
It's just now we're in a situation where what if Devonta Smith and Bateman aren't back? Bateman's not going to be back week 1. So what if Devonta Smith isn't back week 1? Now we're starting whoever we take next.
Ooh, I like Russell Gage.
Right. There's still guys out there.
And that's honestly where we get your guy. Like I agree with Kevin. There's still a ton. And there's like the super late guys that at some point these other guys have to take running backs. Are we just in one of those leagues where people are just going to take like 4 running backs and not?
We're taking like 4 max, probably, honestly.
Yeah, but like we intentionally are doing that because we're running back heavy. I mean, I guess as I say that, half the league.
Yeah, they're going to spend all their fab on the first rando running back that comes out. That's their plan, probably. I mean, that's part of the zero RB creed, no?
Showing the roster, yeah.
Doing this like we're typing names thing.
Don't have to.
Well,
I was trying to be all like Russian spy thing here. Spies like us. Let's go.
I like that.
All right, so let's talk about this pick here. So we're going to continue the theme. I mean, Coop, out of that list.
I want to take Jalen Rager. If we take Jalen Rager later, then it covers us for week 1. You don't take him now; it's too early. But
no, Marcus Callaway. No, there is no too early when Marcus Callaway goes in the 9th.
You mean Visca in the 4th? I am all about Coop's pick. I want Manny Sanders. That's my pick. It's second top 3 passing offense.
What were the options here? I like Manny Sanders or Nelson Aguilar here.
Yeah, I felt like it was too early.
Nelson Aguilar, they paid him a ton of money. I think Aguilar could lead that team in targets, and like that team is going to be better at passing, whether Cam Newton is good or he gets benched.
I would rather spend the money on Jacoby than Aguilar. No. I feel like Aguilar is not with it enough to learn that offense.
I do like Aguilar better than
Jacoby
Myers. No, I'm not saying at that pick. I'm saying for their respective value.
No, Jacoby's an undrafted free agent fill-in. Nobody didn't even score a touchdown last year. I watched every game.
Aguilar hasn't done anything in the entire NFL until 1 year.
Aguilar had more yards last year than Jacoby did, and they paid him. They gave him $11 million.
1 year anyway.
Alice, 20 seconds. Sanders?
I don't know where you're taking
Manny Sanders.
We need that's exactly what we need right now. Aguilar, sure.
There's a non-zero chance that Kendrick Bourne just beats out Kendrick Bourne. Jacoby Myers is Kendrick Bourne.
But you don't use this like there's a non-zero chance when you just like poo-pooed on Jacoby as if like Jacoby couldn't beat out Aguilar.
I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm rooting for Jacoby, but I think that he sucks.
Again,
there's a
I
sucks
don't
case for
care
everybody.
about that. But like Aguilar has sucked every single year in the NFL except for 1 year with Derek Carr.
Has he sucked though?
Yeah, he has not.
He,
been good.
I mean, the case for taking Aguilar there is that this at least improvement that he made last year, parlaying that into a contract with New England, is for real. I mean, we're not taking him to be a top 12 wide receiver. If he's at least a top 30 guy, which he could certainly be, if Cam Newton is good, or if Newton sucks and it's Mac Jones, which upgrades the passing offense.
Right.
Cool.
That's about
wide receiver one that went
Jacoby Myers.
Tell me a wide receiver one outside of Randy Moss that went to the Patriots and did well.
Jacoby Myers had 729 yards last year, right? These are the last 4 years.
Like disregard the Jacoby thing.
Okay,
Jacoby's
here
only like 4
are
rounds
the last 4 years for Nelson Aguilar. 768 yards, 736 yards. He got hurt and had 363 yards, and then he had 896 yards. So 3 of his last 4 years were better than Jacoby's one good year. So
fine, but we're talking about a 3-round difference. These things aren't in a vacuum.
I was saying we're
now talking about Aguilar going to the Patriots. That is a super difficult offense to learn. Who shows up and does well year one? Belichick. It doesn't happen.
I'll send you a clip of Belichick saying that he can play split end and he can play slot.
Cool. He can do those things. Is he going to learn the offense well enough?
DeAndre Hopkins and every wide receiver that switched.
Wait, DeAndre Hopkins went to the Patriots?
Okay, no. Robbie Anderson switched offenses and he did very well.
Dude, like we're having different conversations. One, we are not comparing Aguilar and Jacoby in a vacuum. We're talking about
what are the examples of players that came to the Patriots and did poorly?
Don't like a bunch of these veterans ended up signing with them and just left. Like this is why their receiving core has sucked for years, other than Edelman and Welker.
Because those guys were here, but I mean, like, there's not guys. Yeah, but they brought in Randy Moss. He did really well. Then
this is lightning round, people. I'm Kevin Tompkins.
Yeah, like
we're with Gary Haddow and Andrew Cooper.
Gary, what are the examples of guys that have come in at the age of 28? Like you're talking about bringing in Chad Johnson and like Reggie Wayne, those guys are washed.
Admittedly, I don't know. I can't remember the names super well, but Brandon from the Bengals. The guy from the Bengals came in. Yeah, he was supposed to be super good. And he wasn't.
Stokely?
No, he actually did well with us. I
know you're talking LaFell.
Brandon LaFell.
Thank you. Not Brandon.
Okay, let's pull up Brandon LaFell stats.
I just.
You want to pull him up?
I feel like you're rewriting a narrative right now.
Yeah, Brandon LaFell. The first year Brandon LaFell came to the Patriots was 2014. He had 74 catches for 953 yards and 7 touchdowns.
And is that what you're looking for right here?
Yeah, absolutely. 953 yards and 7 touchdowns. How many other guys have 1,000 yards each year? I would take Brandon LaFell right now for sure.
Axel, the answer to that question is Velveeta, and I'll take that to the grave.
Like if Aguilar is here at the next pick, I'm totally down for it. But like I think that Manny Sanders with Allen is right there.
Manny Sanders is the second. I mean, how many targets is? I like Manny.
I love that Jacoby just went.
Yeah, such a bad pick.
Again, they should be going 2 to 3 rounds apart from each other. Totally different things.
Jacoby scored no touchdowns, 0. Jacoby has never scored a touchdown in the NFL.
Wait. Okay, we're just gonna go even further on this tangent.
All right, let's
compare 2020 wide receivers for the Pats to anything that's ever existed in the NFL.
He's 25.
Kevin, I'm sorry.
He didn't score a touchdown the year before either. He's been in the team for 2 years.
Kevin, my apologies. That's my fault.
He has no touchdowns.
Neither do I. So we're going to draft me at this pick?
So if Nelson Aguilar isn't there at our pick, what's our next move?
I'm going to go to bed.
All right. Well,
there's no way Aguilar makes it back.
Anyway, we're live streaming right now, so who else could we take? That's not going to be in a private chat.
I would take Christian Kirk next.
It's a good pick. I like it.
I would too. Yeah, I'm fully on board with him. Let me put these guys in the queue here.
This run a little long. I gotta run the restroom. We'll be back.
You're good.
Hi, Noah.
Yeah, so I think now we're seeing the 0 RB guys go. It just I know it's a bit, but God, we're gonna get Leonard Fournette in like the 14th round, just because.
So that's what I was saying. Now that Coop's not in the room.
I'm not. No, we're not.
What I came around to. No. But that's what I came around to in realizing this is the most wide receiver heavy draft I've ever seen, and all of a sudden it's like shit. Now I get where you could be getting, a Leo Fournette. Raheem's gone. But that being said, I really like the wide receivers that we have. And maybe you guys aren't as high on Manny Sanders as I seem to have become, but I get it. I don't know. I like our team.
I mean, I
know that you feel like we're missing that one key cog, but
I think the Carson pick for me was a little egregious, I think, where that could have been. But I think with the falling run, like we could have gotten that, you could play that 2v2 with like Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, totally. To me, it's honestly, it's the Zach Moss pick, right? Like if you hadn't have gone Carson there, we could have had Zach Moss. And then if it hadn't,
I wouldn't. I mean, no. We could have. We could have gotten, if we take like T. Higgins or something, and then we could still come back with a Godwin, and then take the 2v, take that with, maybe we don't take Andrews, but we can always patch together tight end, and then maybe take a running backs. I mean, Javonte Williams went in the 6th, Miles Sanders went in the 6th. That's the kind of the lynch, the pivot there.
Yeah.
Ooh, Randall Cobb. I kind of like that pick.
I don't understand.
I mean, touchdown upside. That's pretty much all you're banking on for that.
Or get
70, 80 targets.
Bunch of short targets, man.
I mean, he's what, 30, I think? He's still only 30.
The Terrace Marshall one's interesting. So weird they published their depth chart today with 2 tight ends, and they published it in like a 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set format, which is super weird.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Pay the Manning's going to do. All over the map. The fan got her.
He'll probably go wide receiver.
He's going to take Aguilar.
That's fine, dude. Aguilar sucks, man. He might be the next Brandon LaFell and have almost 1,000 yards and a bunch of touchdowns and win the Super Bowl. That would suck.
Yes. Brandon LaFell is what carried that offense to a Super Bowl.
He made a nasty catch versus Saints in that.
He always did, man. The dude was legit for his one catch a game.
Yeah. Check out there's a radio call they play on every Sports Hub intro of Scott Zolak going, "Unicorns, show ponies, where's the beef?" And it's like the most ridiculous call that makes no sense at all. And that was on that Brandon LaFell catch. That's why I
true story here about Brandon LaFell. I went to Lambeau, it was Packers Bengals, and Brandon LaFell was running wind sprints down our hotel hallway.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah. Him and Dalton was sitting there with his big red hair in the hotel bar, just chilling.
Did you clock it? Did you clock LaFell? See who he was standing
I did not. I actually opened the door and I saw he was behind me. If I had done that 2 seconds earlier, I probably would have been on Twitter because I was the one who opened a hotel door and knocked out Brandon LaFell. Gus Edwards to the crew.
It's a good pick, man.
Curious if he takes a quarterback right here.
I mean, there's still a lot of dudes out there. I mean, you're looking at Tannehill. You're looking at Hurts. I mean, what's he got right now? Diggs, Lamb, Moore, Debo. Could go Trey Lance here.
Damian Harris has 5 career receptions. Gus Edwards.
Wow.
At least Gus Edwards has a few catches.
I'm
Can we
fine
take-
with that.
Boom.
Can we take Aguilar here? Look at
Yes!
Gary. Hey, Gary.
This is exactly what I was saying the whole goddamn time.
Yeah, but Emmanuel Sanders probably would have been here too. Because dude, I guess actually a decent amount of wide receivers still got taken. But yeah, Aguilar, man, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
What's the
And then the guy
downside?
we mentioned before, I think, is a nice on the wrap. I'm
Yeah,
fine with that.
We just need two of these guys to be startable because we're starting Godwin every week, right? So we're starting Godwin and Landry every week to start, right? So we have Godwin, Landry in there. We just need one of these guys to bust out. Why not take guys that could lead a team in targets? You know.
So that becomes the debate, right? If we're looking for somebody that's going to try and lead a team in targets, there is an entire team that has been untouched.
Go on.
No. I don't even know who.
Well, other than Hawk.
Oh yeah, no, I just did that in a draft that Pete Overzet was in. I went back to back, the two of them.
I just want to crystal clear. I feel like you owe me an apology because I was like, Aguilar will make it back to us, and he did. And I was like, let's at least go with this guy. I'm just really good passing out. But we're good.
I will apologize. I will apologize that Aguilar made it back. Now you apologize to me for besmirching the good name of Brandon LaFell in his first year with the Patriots.
I actually do think that they're very similar wide receivers.
Besmirch.
There are a lot of drops that come from Aguilar in his career and LaFell, and I think that they are probably very similar.
Oh, okay. So that's where.
But my apologies.
LaFell's specialty was catching the ball with 1 foot out of bounds.
Someone's listening to us.
ASMR St. Brown just went.
Yeah.
Not only would LaFell drop it, but he was notorious for like routine catches, like easy ones. He would just have 1 foot out of bounds for no reason at all. And he would just run down the field.
At least Brandon Lloyd would be efficient and just not even catch the ball.
Okay, so I'm on Ross St. Brown there. Yeah, appreciate Brandon Lloyd for that. And every once in a while, he'd make a ridiculous one-handed catch.
Yeah, he'd make the routine catches, look difficult. The difficult catches look routine. That is going to be on Brandon Lloyd's tombstone.
Mm-hmm. I love that one, Gary.
That and the alligator arms that he had, when he was in San Francisco. But to be fair, he was also catching balls from like Tim Rattay and like I don't even know who else.
Yeah,
in that.
I have a fun random Brandon Lloyd story that during the season, my buddy Chubb will fully bring up during our Sunday live cast. I traded a second-round pick in a keeper league to get Brandon Lloyd, and people were like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I posted an entire thing about.
Is that the 1 year he was good?
And I posted an entire thing about how rookie wide receivers do amazing, and somebody just screenshotted like his 6-7 years in the NFL. I was like, holy shit, how did I think this guy was a rookie? Anyway, I put two names in the private chat, so I don't know if they're too old for what we're looking for, but
number two on that.
I like Coop's name. Yep. We're fully in agreement.
Yeah. Let's do those. I put up a few.
We're getting a rollback here, by the way. For the 805, who's coming back. They're going to take Sammy Watkins.
Why? What happened?
With that? It said internet issues. It's in the chat here.
Dude,
so
tell him
he's going to take Sammy and St. Brown.
Did you tell him we had internet issues with the Chris Carson pick?
Yes, I did. Fell on deaf ears.
Tell him we had argument issues with the Emmanuel Sanders pick.
I'm so excited that I get to have Coop be the anti-Sanders guy for once.
I'm fully on board with Sanders. I just think we could have got Sanders later. But I guess if Gabe Davis went this round, same round, yeah. And Gabe Davis is like a backup. We might as well take Zach Pascal. I was laughing today because
the rascal.
I kept calling Zach Pascal and Gabe Davis the same guy because they have the same workout metrics and they're the same comparable player on Player Profiler, and they scored the exact same number of PPR points last year, and they're both down to the decimal. and they're both backups. And then everyone was like, "That's a terrible comp." And then when the depth charts came out, Gabe Davis was listed as a backup, and Zach Pascal was listed as a starter. That just tickled me. I know it's stupid, but
Zach Pascal is wide receiver Malcolm Brown.
Exactly. Malcolm.
They're like barnacles, man. You just can't get rid of them.
Malcolm Brown is all right. We're up.
All right, Green just went. We got to take Kirk.
Bing, bing,
done.
Yeah. So, like with Malcolm Brown is just a dude who. Why does he only play third downs and goal line? Why does he only play the best possible situations?
Right. He's like the team manager who like hits him. He's going to put himself like second or third in the lineup, even though he sucks.
Our whole plan of like saying picks that we don't want to make and putting the ones we want in our private chat has worked so well. Like, because I know the spies are in here. So if you spent your whole time spying on this one, cheers to you guys.
Yeah. Reveal yourself.
It's worked out perfectly. Although we did say Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
We also had an argument about Nelson Aguilar and he made it back. But yes.
But that was a smokescreen that we drew up way in advance.
Yeah, if we could, let's just roll this back to about 310. I think we're good.
Line.
There we go. Now I see the numbers popping up in the chat. Now the spies are piling in. They want to know. Yeah. So
the spy equity is increasing.
Yeah. Now there they go. They're out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
very interested to go back to the ship chasing stream, by the way, to see how this.
I'll check it. I bet they had a heated argument about.
Dude, they're gonna hate our team.
Oh, I bet.
Pat's gonna be like, this is a structural disaster. I can already see it. No, I'm fine with how we just gotta get two of these guys. I'm fine with that. Honest to God. Swear on my dad.
I'm just interesting. So like they have six, or so they have 1, 2, 3, 4,
7
5.
wide receivers.
Okay, and they start 4 at most. So they're just baking in the fact that they're gonna be able to pick the best 4 out of 7 most weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's gonna get their flex. They're gonna get that elite scoring. They're banking on the upside of Chase, Jefferson, Adams. You got to figure both. Yeah, obviously they're locked in. Cooper would be locked in most weeks, I would say. So your flex is going to be one of Chase, Chark, Ruggs, Pittman, and then your running backs are Javonte, probably more Harris Edwards, and then they're banking on the Javonte second half kind of surge.
But Harris Edwards,
that's enough to get you a floor with those receivers. That's the thing. I mean, you got it. They're banking on Pitts being the otherworldly, prototype tight end in today's NFL. Burrow for volume, stack with Chase.
I mean, how well do just like wide receivers have good games, but nobody's dropping games like Kamara,
That's the thing. That's why you take, even though the running backs by and large in the first round aren't great bets, they are the only ones who can get that kind of upside, like right. Cook and Kamara last year.
Right. And I'm sure that team will make the playoffs. It's just, I feel like that build is the perfect one to come in third place. But this is, you get decent money for coming in third place in this stuff.
You say with the build where
you have
number 4, number 5 teams?
Where you have a bunch of, because usually, unless it's a crazy shootout, wide receivers don't usually put up 3 touchdowns or ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's every once in a while that you have these crazy games where you drop 40 points. I guess Tyreek Hill does, but you usually aren't putting.
Team number 9. Team number 9 is a better indicator of, from what I understand, and Kevin can fill in the gaps because I'm super novice at this. I can't even remember his name because I'm terrible at this. But the Stealing Bananas, the anti-fragile guy, it was if you look at team number 9. Thank you, Stiegel. If you were to go all these guys and you assume that most of these guys are going to hit, which we like, minus probably Corey Davis, then you have Travis Etienne who's there, but then you just need one other guy to hit that fill. And like even with team number 4 and team number 5, like you have elite at all of these positions, and you almost like, in my mind, the way that I think about it is that you reframe what your RB2 spot is, and you think of your flex as becoming what your RB2 spot is, because that's the spot that's the least valuable. I think, Kevin, you've said this to me before, like your RB2 is your least valuable spot on your entire roster, disregarding kicker and defense, because you can have these elite guys that you can fill in. And so if you hit them, then you take a bunch of just high upside running backs, and as long as one hits, you're golden. And all of a sudden you have the highest chance of being able to win a lot of these things. And this is the stats that back up the zero wide receiver movement, despite the fact that the general consensus is go running back heavy, because when these guys hit, they pop, but it's like, but they also bust at such a high rate. Is that like, Kevin? I feel like
Yeah. I mean, that's the pretty much the crux of it. I mean, with that build, I mean, that is a bet, and I talked about, ETN having Kamara light kind of upside, with that, and then being able to backfill the running back 2 position, and they've got Ridley Brown, Waller, Claypool, Moore. If you get just an absolute elite, you want your guys. Think about it like this: if you wanted to take a snapshot of what you think the 2022 draft is going to be, like, is it really far fetched to say Chase Claypool can be a second rounder next year? No. You could. The potential is there. That is in the range of outcomes. Coop is like, no, screw this, I'm out of here.
with you guys.
Right. Elijah Moore could be like a 4th rounder next year, I think, if things break right, and those are the bets that you're making.
And to me, this is why Hero RB has always been the most prominent strategy for me, is that lock in that one person. I actually think, like, where Darrell Henderson went for team 1, if he had actually gone with Cortland Sutton and then Raheem was his number 2, like that team is fire. Love that team.
Yeah, that could be good. All right, so let me take a look here, because it seems like the last 4 or 5 picks took forever. Oh, here we go. Nico Collins, Gerald Everett. So we're up in a few picks.
Love Nico Collins.
I put somebody in the chat that I think would be a high upside chance to be number 1 target on their team.
I don't see it.
It's in the private chat.
It's not there. Put it in again. I'm okay with that.
I like that pick, yeah.
I honestly would wonder, is there somebody else that's around that might actually make it back to us if there was somebody that's higher up in standard rankings? Because I think that he's just a forgotten person. But I know the guys that I like at this spot, and honestly, it ends up being like the other Green Bay guys. I personally believe that Randall Cobb was solely a power play for Aaron Rodgers to say, I want you guys to do this. And if you guys don't, I'm walking, because you guys don't value me. I don't think that Randall Cobb is anything special at this point in his career. So it would be, for me, a Packers guy or the other one that we've discussed.
I do not want to I don't want to play those 2 in a managed league. Like, good luck figuring out when MVS is going to score that touchdown.
So MVS is.
I will do that all day in best ball.
I have no interest in MVS. It would be Amari.
I'm fine with Hilton here.
Allen. Okay, let's do it.
Coop
said.
Yeah, I like that. I like Hilton. Tony Pollard and Alexander Madison. I mean, they were both pretty similarly efficient-wise last year. Just like both those guys are backup running backs.
But all 4 of those guys, if something happened to 2 of them, that dude just won the league.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
sorry, has standalone value. Plenty of standalone value. So,
yeah.
Do we want to take our 1 running back or 2 run? I mean, I'm just trying to think because there's decent guys out there still. Like if we want to take a 4-play, James White's still out there.
James
Gio
White's the guy.
Bernard.
James White's the guy I was thinking of, man, because that's the guy you could just play 1 week when you need him, and he's caught a pass in every single game going back to 2017. So that's a guy who in PPR, if you need someone to go in for 1 week, you can pretty much count on him not getting a 0. Which for guys like Alexander Madison, you don't even know that, you know.
Right.
Oh, Kenyon's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, Kenny Drake. Oh, we were taking Drake.
Would you take James White over Gio?
Yeah, I would.
Because James White has a defined role. Gio, we don't even know. Like
James White is independent.
If Leonard Fournette is good, if Leonard Fournette is playing at a high level, Gio Bernard might not make the roster.
Fair enough. Right. Yeah, I'm down with James White. I mean, obviously the other guy, I don't know if he's been. Oh, he's looking on.
Yeah, I grabbed James White. I think we're pretty much good.
And I also like James White because Pete Overzet picked him in the draft we did on Sunday, so I know that he likes him too.
If we were to, that's fine. Sorry, Coop said he has to be gone. What in the next 30 minutes? No, you've already supposed to have been gone 30 minutes ago.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll hang around for one more pick. But it's 11 o'clock here.
I only have one other
that early, huh?
I'm particularly interested in, and I don't care if we don't get him, but that's the only other running back I even care about, just because there's a 30% snap share going on, and doubles as a little bit of standalone with obvious possibility.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm in the business of handcuffs at this point.
Kev's the guy that's supposed to be picking RBs in this range. You know, we did our job, Gary, by hashing out the wide receivers.
His range for this.
We put our wide receivers out there. Kev's supposed to be the guy that puts together the late round running backs. I mean, what do you got for us, Kev? This is supposed to be your domain.
I don't want any more running backs, honestly.
I'm saying if you were.
I mean, if I was, there's a ton of guys out there. I mean, McKissick's out there, Chuba Hubbard, Darrington Evans, Damian Williams, Gainwell, Darrell Williams. I mean, there's plenty of running backs. I mean, honestly, I'd be thinking about. I mean, Tom Brady's still out there.
That's a stack.
I think he goes here, though. I think he goes. Oh, Evans is before us, so there's a. I mean. You're talking about an unstacked Brady if anybody else takes him.
The ship chasers, that's a lot of faith in Kyle Pitts. I mean, he's got a decent floor because you spend that much money on him. You draft him where you do. He's got to be a part of the team. But I mean, like them not even hedging, you know, they're locked in.
But that's the bet. So
that's the bet.
That is the bet. Yeah.
Imagine taking Tyler Higbee and that's it. Irv Smith also. That team needs to take somebody else too.
I mean, I think that's the thing. You take those elite tight ends. I mean, look, anybody those top 6, nobody else has a second one. So that's the bet you're making. You don't have to do that. You could allocate one more spot to tight end and then be fine.
Right. That's why I just Pitts there. I'm not doing that.
I do have Andrews over Pitts though.
Right. I would take Pitts as my if he fell to the 6th tight end, I would take Pitts, and then I would take somebody else at a reasonable price just to be safe, you know?
Right. Take a like a Jonnu or somebody.
Right.
Yeah. See, Trotwin, Ferkser, those are 2 tight ends. I mean, could be zeros, both of them.
Right. That's such a weird pick to take Ferkser there.
Yeah.
Ferkser was exciting a long time ago before they traded for Julio Jones. I mean, that dude's drafting his team with March's newspaper. You know?
That's great.
I don't see the upside, man. Josh Reynolds is still there. It's like they have plenty of wide receivers now. They don't need Firkser. Jeff Swaim is going to play the inline role, like just like what happened last year when they wanted Jonnu to catch more passes. They put Swaim in, and Jonnu played more slot and stuff, and Swaim played a ton of snaps. They like Swaim, so I don't know, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. We're coming up on the turn here for round 15. Yeah, that stacking opportunity is not too bad.
It's
Coming
wild.
back.
Would we be considering taking a second QB? Like maybe you guys were talking about the same as did.
Nope. You're right on.
We were just bashing the Anthony Firkser pick for probably the entire time you were gone.
And we were like one of the first people on Firkser too, but things change. That's the thing.
Back when it was
I mean,
cool.
the only thing that you could maybe make a case for with Firkser is that Tennessee passes more. Maybe there's a little bit more volume because I think between third target, Firkser, Josh Reynolds, what you're saying.
Yeah,
So
where's
that's the bull case you're making.
right back then. Josh Reynolds is going early, and now no one's even taking him at all. He's going straight up.
Yeah, he is free. He's absolutely free.
Yeah, so
This team is wild.
Tom Brady just went, which
Devonta Booker before Tom Brady is the weirdest.
That's kind of confusing to take Brady there.
I guess you're just going with the ups. Oh, he has Barkley.
No. I like that because they.
I mean, you're pairing floor and ceiling, but I'm still staying. With it's basically a naked Brady.
I mean, you don't always have to stack, man. I know it's smart to do it, but it's not like
when this becomes large field. That's when it pays dividends.
Yeah, that's true. When it's a large field,
like in just a normal 12 team, you don't have to. You just take the best guys. That's the thing. But
yeah. I mean, the guy that won draft with Giants had just naked Mahomes. I mean, the guy that won draft Scott Fishbowl didn't stack. Did you stack when you won Scott Fishbowl?
No.
Gary? Yeah, I mean, shit happens all the time, Kev.
I'm an outlier. I had 5 record setters.
That's true. And you pretty much invented Darren Waller.
Apparently I did. I tried to give. I was in like a random DM group with Barry, and Matthew Barry is not somebody that I particularly have followed for fantasy football advice for a long time, and I happened to, for some reason, he put me on to Darren Waller, and if it wasn't for him, yeah. But no, I had 2 record setters, not 5, 3 technically with 30 and 30. Thanks, Jameis.
Tyrell Williams there. That's a pick that I would have liked to have because I have him over Perriman. I mean, he's getting paid more than Perriman. Perriman's going to be playing the split end role where he's going to be getting jams. Tyrell Williams going to be playing flanker, free releases, and what have you. So.
Just put someone else in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you're making the case on his compatriot being dust and not knowing how to use him. Who went how many rounds ago? 6 rounds ago?
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of agree with Coop on that, and that's a tough one.
So that's what scares me. It's like what usually like that dude is such a like classic coach that you would think that he would side with the veteran.
Yeah, so that's another battle that he has to fight is just ineptitude of the head coach.
Right.
I would much rather go with one of the 2 A's that we discussed earlier. This like me trying to be discreet is fucking stupid. Can I just say their names? Like, was that okay? We've already talked about them.
Do it. Okay, yeah.
It would be like either Lazard or Rogers. Like, I would rather have them over him. offense wise. I get that you're trying to get somebody that could be the first target at their respective position, but I don't know.
Defense just went. I mean, I'm going to keep it in the vest, but Gary, you already said his name.
Yeah. I didn't say that out loud, though.
I love that pick. Yeah, but I gotta be off. These are going so slow right now. I gotta be off, man. I was supposed to be off a while ago.
It's all good, brother.
All right, boys. I trust you guys, man. We got it all figured out.
You're
so.
good,
all right,
man.
4 defenses. Let's go.
Load up, dude. Make sure you get Pat's defense.
Well,
get right on that.
All right.
All right. Later, brother.
All right, guys.
All right. So then there were 2.
And then
I do like
2.
that pick, though. I do like that pick, though.
Everything I can to not leave you. But it's very, very dude, this taking a really long time, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's a 90-second clock versus the 60-second clock FFPC. That's the thing.
That's what it is. Because I keep thinking, I'm like, well, it's 75-second clock, but it's because there's a delay that I'm not seeing. Yeah.
Also, another thought too. We're on the clock. Who just went? Chuba Hubbard. That was actually what I was going to say. What do you think about Hurts here?
I think we should just take that. I mean, it's just the highest upside probably that's left on the board.
I'm fine with that because they could stack Devonta Smith too with that.
That was totally my
and then we're fine. Too. Yeah.
Which I think we should circle the wagons.
What do you mean?
Let's get our tight end too.
You think? All right, let's see what's out. I mean, there's plenty of dudes out there, honestly. I mean,
but
we could go with an
who's available and who has the potential to be the number 1 target on their team. There's only 1 tight end left that could do it. And it would be a stack opportunity for what we just did. Because apparently, if you're watching this still somehow, you wouldn't know. But
I know.
No, I'm more just thinking, why am I being so candid as if no one could put that together? If you disagree with me, I know who
you're talking about. I know who you're talking about, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
I feel like that gives a lot of upside at both of the 1Z positions.
Yeah.
God, I need these guys to go faster. So we have 2 more skill players, right? I mean, after round 17 or 16.
Yeah.
And those are going to take forever. It's so weird how different of a field this draft. I don't know why. Maybe it was because, like you said, it's 90 instead of 60. But this is an entirely different feel from what FFPC was. I think it probably comes down to the fact that the tight end premium and other stuff, and this wasn't this whole
it's
zero.
And it's the room too.
Yeah. The 0 running back thing is definitely a weird dynamic compared to how it was before.
Yeah. I think we can do who we talked about, and then we could probably take another running back, and I think we're fine.
Jesus, Evan Ingram hadn't gone yet?
No, but you're talking about Ertz, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a double upside there, even if he does get traded to become a high. But I think at this point in camp, he's not going to get traded. I can't believe the Ingram hate this year is just mind-blowing. We have no idea what Golladay is going to be, and at least we know Golladay is going to be with Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
at least we know that Ingram is. I wonder if we would have gotten yelled at. I just realized that Coop left, and we took a tight end as soon as he left.
He would have been fine. He would have been great with that, though. That's the thing.
I think so.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got the nice tight end to quarterback stacks on both ends, and then Bateman and upside receivers. If you're making that case for the Baltimore offense, I'm great with that.
Yeah, completely.
We had to backfill wide receiver. I mean, Godwin was wide receiver 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a little bit, Antonio Brown kind of muddies that up a little bit.
Mhm.
But all right. I mean,
just
I'm
scrolling
fine.
deep down to try and find some names.
I mean, we could always just take that later. We could always take our onesies too, because defenses are starting to roll off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like okay with that, but you still still.
Yeah, I mean,
This is where
I
like
think
the RB5 spot, which I had said, I think he's been taken.
we have two more skill position players.
So the running back that I was referencing, that you were like, no, I'm done with that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why receivers have the same upside as that.
Let me take a look here.
I just scrolled through it all. I could only see one name that I was like, all right, unless it's like deep rookies that you're just like hoping fifth rounders, 6 rounders hit.
I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 guys that I actually really like here.
That wide receiver?
No. Oh no, running back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Our guy has not gone yet.
Hold on, I'm putting him in.
You and I love one similar running back without fail, and he has not gone yet. So the problem is, again, it's just by the time we get back around and we have these two, if we were to not take a kicker and a defense here, number 1, totally. Number 3 is growing on me. Number 2 and 4, I just don't know if I care.
It's the same kind of thing. It could be anybody's ball game. So then there goes 1 with Tevin Coleman. I'm not really on Tevin Coleman, but
I'm really
because I think, I think he's dust. I mean,
I just hate him. I just completely hate him. I just think he's terrible. But I'm super anti-bias or super negative bias because of how he was with the Niners. Right. What's the kicker and defensive scoring? Like, is there any advantage to any particular? Like, I know the 2 defenses I absolutely love, and then the third one is my flyer defense.
Kickers are decimal. Defenses are a sliding scale of points against. 1 point per sack, 2 point per interception, 5 for safety, block. Let's see, your normal touchdowns. Yeah.
I'll just tell you the 3 teams because I don't really care. It's always going to be the Ravens, Broncos, or Chargers. Those are
for defense.
Yeah, I just realized now that 2 of the 3 teams are against the freaking Chiefs, but I don't really care. Like the Broncos have Vic, the Chiefs have Brandon Staley coming in and could totally revitalize them, and then obviously the Ravens are the Ravens. You should also say the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, I like. Yeah, Niners. I like
this year.
I like those defenses too. I love the Chiefs, just because if they're gonna, they're gonna win the score-a-thon more often than not. And Baltimore is the same way, where they're gonna score a ton of points. Teams are gonna have to force the issue, and that's when you see a lot of touchdowns and when you see turnovers. So I mean, I like those. I mean, the Saints were like that too. So I mean, we'll see what falls here. Gainwell just went. Tampa and Baltimore back to back. I mean, you're probably locking in a top 5 defense every week.
I mean,
I just don't know.
I would hope so. And that to me is where it's like, like the Steelers are still super highly thought about. And Steelers are tough because, I'm not sure what the right word is, but you're playing against our Lamar. Yeah. If you took the Steelers, and the Niners are tough because you're playing against 3 of the best potential offenses, top 10s.
How do you feel about? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Nope, you're good.
How do you feel about Cleveland
for a defense?
Yeah,
that's the highest I've seen Denver go. I can usually get them around like defense 10.
The defense chat is clearly bringing people in here, so
totally.
Let's keep that going.
Axel Jansen, are you a spy? This is a slow play for months.
No, do not slander the good name of Axel Jansen in this chat.
He said that Carson was a wasted pick. He's just trying to either incite a riot or
maybe he's
just
my
trying to curry
spy.
favor with you. Yeah.
All right, Bucker. Yeah, so here come the kickers.
Defense, it'll be the Niners. I think that's where I'm at because that front is gonna be so sick, and so we'll. Hey, Axel, you're still with us. Thanks, buddy.
Axel, you know what, brother? Gary might have lost faith in you, but I haven't. Just want to.
I would never. This is like when you're running a marathon and you're at like mile 22 and you happen to see one of your good friends and they hand you water. And you're just like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it. And Axel pops up. There we go, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah. Boston Scott. Yeah. So the three of the names that we put in there, Toasty. So yeah, you know what? I'm okay with
a kicker. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, you were about to say that. Now
I was about to. Not gonna lie.
I just the fluctuation with them. I would much rather take the Niners and take the running back that I like, and then
wide
receiver.
I mean, I like having that strong kicker. I mean, like a Zerline or something like that you can bank on. In a good offense, it's going to have a lot of opportunities. They play indoors half their games.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down.
I'm fine with that. And then maybe,
but doesn't a high-end defense have less variability?
I think the defenses are more wider range of outcomes than kickers are. You can get a middle.
Thinking about like spikes, but yeah, I get it because you can get negative from a defense. And you shouldn't be getting that from a kicker.
Yeah, like good defenses last year, Indianapolis, you were getting in the teens. Same with kind of like Miami and Buffalo. All right, so Salvin Ahmed went. Samajay, you want to take Greg the leg? We couldn't get him last week. All right.
My concession would be if the Niners make it back to us, I would love to take them.
Fine with that.
And then we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, so I'm just... Go ahead.
Sorry, go for it. No.
I was just going to say I'm just looking at some... just the totality of the rosters here. I think our stacks up. We really... our roster hinges on needing to find consistent wide receiver scoring outside of Godwin.
Totally.
That's what everywhere else I think we're fine. San Francisco just went.
So Miller time, if we were ever going to entertain spies, Evans, Sutton, AJ Green, Amari Rodgers, and the San Francisco Niners and the Niners were all the picks after us, and I don't really care about pick two because Chubb. But all of those were like guys that we were debating on, and we were like, well, we'll see. Maybe they'll come back to us. Just saying. Miller
time, if you were in here, please reveal yourself.
At this point, I would more just be impressed. All right. So is there another defense that we even... Colts... Man, I'm so nervous about the Colts. I guess they got Kwity Paye.
Cleveland, Buffalo.
Justin Blackmon's going to get better. But
Miami.
Cleveland. Oh, yeah, you said you do like Cleveland. Sorry, you had asked about that earlier. I think that should be our go-to. Is there one player between now and next round that you're down with?
Take now?
Skill, yeah. And actually, we took Hurts, didn't we? Forgot. This is the point of the draft where I always find myself taking additional players at a 1Z position where I shouldn't.
Yeah, I think we're fine on tight end.
I put somebody in the draft. I put somebody in the private. I'll do it again.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, that was the guy I was looking at too. I'm fine with that. Then coming back with a defense.
I didn't realize we're up. And there goes Daryl.
That's fine.
Daryl Williams is probably like one of my most owned players. Yeah, DPJ. Let's do it.
Take a shot.
There's a chance. You talk about chances of becoming a wide receiver 1 on a team, right? There's a chance that Odell doesn't have it. DPJ steps up. I mean, it's unlikely, but there's a chance. I just realized that we took 2 Browns wide receivers.
That's fine. I mean, they're separate. They're not the same role. So it's not like it's a handcuff situation. So that's fine. I'm fine making a bet on DPJ as far as, being that, it's a low volume offense, but it doesn't matter in that role.
Which is crazy. They have a low volume offense and they have 2 of the best, highest reception totals of their first 4 years in Odell and Landry. And they went from being a team that seemed to have nothing at wide receiver to having Donovan People-Jones. They have Anthony Schwartz. They have these guys. I mean, even like Rashard Higgins, I think, is still on the team. Like, and their tight end, it's like, I mean, shit, they still have Njoku behind Hooper with is it Harrison Bryant, I think?
Like,
such a weird team, but
Benjamin, that's a RotoViz pick right there. That's a RotoViz 2020 pick in Benjamin. All right, so wide receivers are done. Tight ends are done. Quarterbacks are done. We need, I'd say, probably one more running back. And then a defense, a running back, and then whatever. Or no, we had 2 picks. So defense and running back, I'd say.
Yeah, and I would probably just go with the Browns at this point. I mean, it's a really tough division, but I'd probably go with them just to lock that in.
I'm going to put a few into the queue.
Running back. I know a couple that I like, like there's San Diego backs. We don't know who. It sounds like Justin Jackson is going to be the RB2 there. We don't know who's going to be getting goal line. And if Eckler goes down, you still have Justin Jackson. Obviously, Niners backs, who I'm impartial to, but at some point, someone will get injured. You put somebody in the chat that I don't think is still there.
Those are the ones I put in the queue for defense.
It's interesting the ranking that you have, but yes, any of those.
They're not in any order, but they're not in order. But I'm assuming you're going to get a bunch of them to go here.
Far left and far right would be my picks.
Yeah, and then probably the middle, and then
there's one guy. Huh.
Yeah,
I open with this far late, so I don't really care.
Olison. I mean,
what can Olison do?
That's sneaky, but yeah.
So for me, it would be Joshua Kelly, Justin Jackson.
That's something to make a bet on. Is the chart? Because somebody else has to run, and probably I have not looked at the depth chart, but you're probably looking at Justin Jackson getting that first nod there, because Josh Kelly got that shot and was pretty bad last season. He was good in like the first game and a half,
totally,
and just kind of tanked it away.
Yeah,
and then Roundtree could be a wild card. I mean, if Kelly doesn't do anything, he could pretty much just be tossed aside this year. I mean,
but I think in a fab league, like you can take people here that can be tossed aside.
Well, right. That's like spots you can churn. I mean, that's all. That's pretty much DPJ right there.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, these 2 spots here, they're prime churn candidates where, that's.
I know that you guys detest this guy, but one of the softer schedules, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. He's a rookie and is a total bruiser, and we don't know what's going to happen.
Maybe.
Boy,
I already know who you're talking about.
It's the spelling bee champion, Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. No, we don't even remember it being like spelling bee, spell Ramondre. You're like,
dude, spell Albert Akui Boonham.
No one knows how. His name's Albert O.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like if you're thinking about just upside and what's possible, how many ifs do you want to have in the statement to take that guy? But even at like what's the likelihood that whatever running back we take, if they are not the back by week 1, that we are keeping on the roster?
I mean, they're prime even before week 1. If somebody just if somebody shows out and that's a guy that maybe we can get ahead on, I'm fine with just making that bet on that other player, whoever they may be, versus DPJ, who is probably it's a lower probability outcome there, I would say. I mean, Peoples Jones, I believe, was like a top 10 consensus recruit who at Michigan never really put it all together, but has tools. That's pretty much you're betting on Cleveland being able to unlock those tools. That's the case for Peoples Jones, who flashed last season. They needed a stretcher. That's why they went out and drafted Anthony Schwartz. I believe he's hurt right now. I think he's got, I want to say it's a soft tissue. But yeah.
So Justin Jackson and Quadri Olson were already taken for whatever reason. Didn't even see that. So I actually think about Malcolm Brown or Wayne Gallman, if we're going running back, would be two guys. I don't see a world in which Wayne Gallman in week 1 does anything, but I see a world in which week 1 Malcolm Brown, we're like, oh, we actually could have something here with the way they're using him. Or Ramondre Stevenson. But I honestly haven't heard anything about him. He was on the NFI for a while, so I'm not too sure.
Looking
at the board, deferring to you.
Looking at the board here, I don't necessarily mind Gallman here. I do still like Ty Johnson. I like Stevenson. Malcolm Brown could be annoying because I don't think it's going to be a one back thing in Miami now that Gailey is gone.
But I mean, it could be before the end by week 1 or week 2. Otherwise, like Wayne Gallman's going to sit there unless Trey and Mostert go down, which is like, hey, that's fine. Like that's a perfect cut candidate, and you're just banking on the next 3 weeks to see what happens. Wayne Gallman would be. I've just talked myself into Wayne Gallman. I mean, if those two things happen, Wayne Gallman would be a stud until those guys came back. But Malcolm Brown would not be a stud if Gaskins goes down.
No, if anything, Malcolm Brown is a timeshare. If something happens with Ahmed or Dokes or whatever the case is, Gallman can be a middle of the road RB2. I mean, that's what you're looking for in this range, is guys. I mean, that's pretty much what he was last year with when Saquon went down. When it was basically just him in that backfield, he was a good, solid. I shouldn't want to say good. He was pretty good RB2. So we're up now. Do we want to just roll on Gallman, or do we want to take a defense?
Do you care that strongly about the defense that you want? To me, I liked
Cleveland's still out there, man.
Well, so I like them, but I also like the Chargers. So I would just rather take the running back that you feel more comfortable with.
We could take Gallman and just take whoever's left in the wrap.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Yeah, because this team's got 2 defenses already. More than likely, I would say they're going to take 1 defense here because, I mean, it's the wrap, so they got to take 1 and a kicker. So there you go.
Actually, I guess they don't need to take 1. If there's a waiver,
they don't if they want to drop somebody.
See, like those are the types of teams. Like I get Darius Slayton just in case with Galladay, but like if I know I'm not going to take a defense, which is totally fine, and not going to take a kicker, I'm drafting running backs for all of those positions for the last like 5 or 6 rounds, and then just punt to get whoever I need.
Right. So there goes Prater, and then we're going to probably get a defense here, and then skill position player for Miller time, and then we're taking whatever defense is left. So,
which is going to be the Browns. Like, let's take the Browns. That's who we're going to get.
Browns or Chargers. I mean, I'm fine with either.
That'll be the Browns.
You think?
These guys will probably take Kansas City based off their roster. Ooh, New Orleans. That is an interesting pick. I'm sure I'm that high on the New Orleans defense this year.
Just
They're
the
not going to
offense.
do defense, so let's take the Browns.
All right, works for me.
I don't want to be rude, but once this pick's made, I'm in hot shit.
It's all good. We'll be off like a herd of turtles here. So we'll post the board on here, but we'll wrap her up here. So for Coop, who did have to leave, for Gary, who has Hurricane in his
Hurricane
house bearing down on him. I'm Kevin Tompkins. Oh, go ahead.
And for Axel, who
And for
I'm
Axel.
pretty sure is still watching.
Axel, appreciate you, brother. We are out. So thank you for sticking with us, and we will see you next week.